So I'd heard about this Pauper Cemetery in Tacoma where tons of people were buried in the late 1800s. People who were too poor to afford a burial site and a headstone of their own. Here's the area in South Tacoma. There's 3 separate entities here: the Tacoma Cemetery, Oakwood Cemetery, and the Tacoma Mausoleum. And then this square right here is the Pauper Cemetery, or Potter's Field as it was called back then. I made plans with my friend Joe from Phantom Geist to go check this place out. We parked at Oakwood Cemetery and checked out some of the graves there, as well as the mausoleum en route to the Pauper Cemetery. I'll show you some of the footage of these places while I tell you about the abandoned graveyard we're looking for. Between 1888 and 1920, over 1,600 people were buried there. It's impossible to know how many exactly because records were not always kept. Of the records that were kept, some were destroyed in a fire and more were tossed out in the dumpster. It is verified though that to save time and money, the cemetery sometimes buried the bodies 2 and 3 deep in the same hole. They got away with that because the deceased buried here came from the poor farm, which is, I guess, like the early 1900s version of the homeless camps and tent cities we see in the area today. There are a few headstones scattered around the abandoned cemetery, and those came from family members from future generations who scraped together the cash to buy the stones and placed them there after the fact. The plot of land is now owned by Tacoma Cemetery. They come out occasionally to cut the weeds. It's not open to the public. The cemetery cites safety concerns for this.
That seems to be the only way in right here.
The cemetery is completely abandoned, closed off. There's not many graves left. Here's one for a baby, 1911 and 1915. The Tacoma Cemetery is over there, and this is the mausoleum, the back side of the mausoleum. I see a few other graves popping up over the tall grass here and there. You can't really read this. Died 1880 something, 1888 maybe. Saw another one popping up over here. Yeah. Yeah, there's one here too. 1875 to 1890. So the actual Tacoma Cemetery is on the other side of this fence. But this whole section is fenced off. Now here's a trail that's been walked a few times in this abandoned cemetery. Oh, I see a few graves popping up over here. Like Joe's found them. Fence is coming down over there. Oh yeah? Okay. Oh yeah. (1845 to 1905). Oh, look, someone carved in the 7 here. A family member. Keep that date from eroding away. Oh, you can see the nice graveyard over there. Died November 14th, 1902, age 25 years. That's Nakamoto. This one looks newer, or at least in better shape than the others. Another, 1822 to 1906. This is the back side of the mausoleum. It looks like a creepy abandoned building, but it's pretty nice inside. As I'm walking along through the abandoned cemetery, I keep stepping in like these pits. It's like shallow parts where I'm stepping and my foot just kind of steps a little bit further than I'm expecting. These are all graves. Skeletal remains that have been forgotten. So there's Tacoma lore. You hear about satanic worship going on here. People digging up bodies, doing crazy stuff. I think that's all just urban legend. Hangovers from the late 80s, early 90s, when you hear about heavy metal Satanists doing stuff in the news. Yeah, I see no sign of any wrongdoing except for just complete abandoning some gravestones.